And we will start with the second slide, please.
And Jasmine, the stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Did you know that 80% of high achievers are quietly unraveling? And I know for a fact, some of them are in this call today. On the outside, they look successful, but inside, they're scattered, numb, and exhausted. Health breaks down, family fractures, purpose fades, and sometimes it's even death that comes too early. I've seen it, I've lived it, and I refuse to accept that as the cost of excellence. Switch. The other brands feel good, but they fade fast. Heka goes deeper. It's structured, rooted, and designed for transformation. Switch. The wellness market is huge and growing fast. We're launching in Montreal, where we already have early traction and good retention. Switch. The system works for any human, but it was built for one type in particular, highly functional urban professionals already spending a lot on wellness and optimization. Switch. For them, for us, I created Heka. It's a system rooted in ancient civilization that combines wellness products with neuroscience protocols. Switch. In just a few minutes each day, people can reset their minds, reconnect emotionally, and lead better. Switch. In ancient Egypt, for thousands of years, in every temple and every house, people would burn frankincense in the morning, myrrh at noon, and kifi at night as part of their ritual to ground, align, and elevate. That's the kind of structure that Heka brings back to modern days. Switch. So we start with product sales and subscription in Montreal. We scale through content, creators, and events, and expand via DTC and retail collabs. Switch. We're raising 1 million to scale acquisition, optimize delivery, and build the backbone to hit 1.4 million in revenue by year 4. Switch. To mobilize this initiative, we have a strong team with great experience. Switch. Fellow achievers, suffering in silence.
The time is up. We'll have to stop you here. Thank you for that. Judges, your feedback, please.
Hi, good morning, everyone again. Thank you for the presentation. I see lots of improvements. Congrats on that. Couple of things, especially for the 3-minute pitch. You definitely want to talk about your go-to-market strategy and how you're going to acquire those first customers. Some of these maybe general comments. Make sure you include the timeline of where you want to be since you're asking for money, because you need to show your value inflection. And the typical people say, well, we're going to raise 1 million to spend money on R&D sale or something. Make sure you speak in terms of value inflection for investor, because investors want to see what's going to happen after you complete those milestones or runways that you say you're going to go for, 1 year or 11 months or half a year. And then at the end of that, what's going to happen next, right? So the trajectory is important, especially if it's a pitch deck. But at least, Stephen, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a very much improved pitch. I can see some of the content was removed. And what you have there is definitely valuable. The pitch was a bit fast. Some of the slides went by too quickly for me to be able to appreciate them. But I think maybe in the 3-minute pitch that can be adjusted. Again, I agree on the timeline, I agree on the dollars. If you get a sense of how you're going to spend them, you did talk about revenue in year 4. I'm more interested in year 1 than year 4, because that will really set the precedent of where you're going. And you have a large team, which is good, and at least you have more people covering more roles. So very well done. And I do also like very much your use case. You're presenting sort of something that we can really associate to in terms of some of the rituals that you're thinking about for the products. Well done.
Thank you for the feedback, judges. Next up, Yuma Wellness. Vinod, if you could. And the stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Boutique fitness today provides unique experiences, but personalization stops when class ends. Instructors can't scale feedback, studios lose clients, and women's health needs are underserved. Ayuma closes that gap. Next slide, please. I'm Angie, a movement artist and tech innovator with 20 years in dance and martial arts. I started Ayuma during the pandemic as a certified Pilates instructor serving prenatal care, high-performance athletes, and holistic wellness for women. The market is ready for personalized, evidence-based care at scale. Next. For instructors, our hero product delivers privacy-secure post-class video form correction to users, enhanced by humans-in-the-loop precision, with special attention to functional movement and body alignment. Post-class, users can opt in for 30 to 60-second feedback on 3 to 5 moves, and giving instructors extra income while improving the AI over time. Next, for studio owners, we also streamline community insights, accountability through a feedback loop, and upsells in a unified backend. Next, please. For go-to-market and pricing, we're starting with 5 to 10 boutique fitness pilots with interest from leaders at Barry's, Nike, and Equinox. Next, our B2B2C is launching now in Pilates studios in the Bay Area and expanding to CrossFit, dance spas, and luxury hotels, driven by $10 per user upsell for Form Insights per class, on track for $600K by end of next year and projecting $3 million by 2030 with high-value retention and enterprise partnerships. Next, we begin in SF, New York, and LA, which is where I am currently, expanding globally by year 3. Long term, we're uniquely positioned to transform movement tech in luxury wellness for billions. Next, we are a for-profit impact venture actively giving back through philanthropy. Next, we're seeking aligned partnerships and would love your help with scaling our product globally. Join the wellness movement and move with love.
Perfect timing. Thank you. Judges, your feedback, please.
Jump in. Very good presentation. The flow, the speed of the presentation, the preparation of the speaking points, very well done. I would say that global expansion in year 3, it might be a bit ambitious, a bit aggressive, especially with as much expansion as there would be in the United States. It might be a bit unrealistic. I'm not saying it is definitely. I just don't know how much traction you've received and what evidence you might have, because at this point, if you're still testing the US market, you still have to achieve adoption in the market. And at least in the presentation, it sounds like you're making traction, but I didn't hear necessarily any specific tidbits or talking points about how well the prototype might be doing or how well the product might be being received. So that would be the only thing that I didn't quite hear in the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Again, see lots of improvements, and can see it's getting things more polished and comprehensive. Some slides are still a bit heavy for this type of presentation. So for 3-minute pitch, you want people to focus. If there's a lot of text, try to minimize that text. So just have those key bullet points so we can listen to you and pay attention to you rather than trying to read at the same time, because we cannot comprehend 2 things at the same time, listening and reading. Just to piggyback on what Steve said, again, it's so important to show where you are right now, because for everyone, if you are before MVP stage, it's going to be different lenses of judgment than if you already have MVP and if you already have a product with customers. So if you are pre-MVP, just state it, and then we're going to be sort of judging accordingly because it's not equal, it's the biased, right? So we have to guess. If you have MVP, great, just tell us the metrics, show us how many test pilots, how many users, what do you have? Show that there's elements of traction that your company is like stickiness, that your product, your customers love. And that's why you think it's going to go global. I briefly saw, maybe I didn't understand that, but it says that the year 3, you say 3 million revenue. If that's the case, then you need to be a little bit more ambitious for going global, because year, I think 2 was 1 million, you have 3 million. If you have a product that you think is going to scale and scale fast, see see how you can increase the adoption, let's just put it this way, right? Because then it's going to be just the problem of you need money for growth because your product's great, your market is there. It's going to be a different problem, but show early evidence of traction and stickiness that your product is good. And then what you did is showing the market opportunity. If it's a big market opportunity, great. Then just how you're going to scale up. And it doesn't have to, when you say global, it doesn't have to be global, because we're starting in US, or if we start North American market, like we're gonna go to Europe or specific Asia, like specific market, then you show like, okay, well, this is our trajectory where we are, and this is our trajectory, how we're gonna scale up to get to that market. And thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you, judges. Next up, Wall Clock. If you could pull up the slide, Vinod. Wall Clock team, the stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Hi, I am Akhilesh and I'm here with my partners Devranjan and Mansi. Our company is called wallclock.ai. So we are building a platform for IoT with Edge AI support and the cloud backend with enterprise management as well as consumer management features. Next slide, please. So today we have picked up this market look around. You will see digital wall clocks, ancient technology, don't understand you, no AI. We are changing this. We're building AI era devices, integrated sensor systems. They understand you. They preserve the privacy. We don't invade the privacy. We want it to be under $20 devices, so it is affordable by common people. We are targeting mass market. Next slide, please. So why us, right? Why do we change? We are friends from like last 20 years, college hostel mates. We have deep experience in hard technologies in diverse fields: hardware, software, cloud, AI. We understand this complex tech, and we are passionate about building for people for mass markets. We have done that earlier for hobby projects. Now we are doing it commercially. Next slide, please. This is one of our early prototypes. It looks like a simple digital wall clock, but it is a fused sensor system with more than 10 sensors there. Next slide, please. You don't want to hang that prototype in your wall, right? You want very nice looking devices. So we engaged a designer from a reputed place early on. This is some of the images from our current catalog. Next slide, please. There's a lot more to this. Difficult to cover in 2 minutes, but federated AI, edge AI, social features, OTA updates, connected platform, third-party developer SDK. There are a lot of facets to this. Next slide, please. You can own one and you can manage it, or you can run the, let's say, whole hotel chain and manage it through the same platform. Next slide, please. What are we morphing into? We are morphing into a complete managed platform, IoT, Edge ML, end-to-end manufacturing to distribution we want to own. We want to enable third-party revenues on our device.
All right, we'll have to stop you here. Thank you.
Could you
Judges,
next slide, please?
we'll have to stop you right here.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the presentation. It's a little bit heavy on the content. So again, when we're trying to read and listen to you at the same time, it's two channels and both of them, it's hard to process. So it's a lot of on cognitive load. So there's lots of things there. And in your case, you can simplify it quite a bit. Right? You started with a lot of features. You're talking about mass market. You talk about big experience. All of those are general terms. And typically, general terms do not land well with investors because they need something more specific and something needs tangible, which when we do general terms, that sounds more aspirational, visionary, rather than more practical. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm starting. This is my customer. I'm starting with this customer, with this type of customers, and then I'm going to scale up. And my vision is the global market, right? So we need to have a little bit more tangible content, a little bit more data, more specific, where we not just say we have big experience, but say exact what experience you have. If you have 30 years at IBM, just say I have 30 years of IBM and let audience judge you and say, yes, that person has big experience, right? So let's change that pitch and make it a little bit more solid. And I think for 3 minutes, you can, cut off down some of this, general vague terms to be more specific. And then again, show us the timeline where you at, where you want to be, and what do you need. But I think you can condense some of these slides and make your presentation much, much stronger and more impactful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. And just a couple of points. I think that we're not entirely clear on why a customer would buy this product. We have a sense of why, but we'd like to know from your research and your analysis why they would buy this product. If it's a mass market product, it must be for a very wide, broad audience. I also think that you mentioned something about hotels, maybe bringing this into sort of scaling it in that way. I think there's a data management side to this piece also, where you might be gathering information from this clock as well. And I don't know if there is or isn't, but that's what came to mind. So I think maybe understanding a little bit better why your product, who are your competitors, why you're better, and why would the mass market product succeed? especially if you don't have an MVP right now that you've tested it and built for folks. So I think a little bit more of that might be valuable. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. Lumina will be up next. Vinod, if you could. Oh,
Dasana?
sorry, trade. My mistake. Dasana trade. If you're ready, 2 minutes from now.
Dasana is the story behind the art. Next, our mission is connecting fine art artisans with art appreciators. Many artisans avoid online and global sales due to perceived complexity, while art appreciators want easy access to authentic art. Next, our high value art is for individuals between the ages of 30 and 60, representing a potential market of 130 million people in the US. Next, our business model is a B2B2C operating as an international reseller and retail arbitrage. We've established commercial entities in both Mexico and the United States. Dasana Mexico works directly with artisans to sort their unique products. These items are then exported to Dasana US, which handles sales and distribution. Our go-to-market strategy is designed in 2 stages. Stage 1 will initially focus on building market credibility and brand recognition through online sales and channels. Next, stage 2, Q2 2026. Once we establish a strong reputation, we will transition to direct sales model, targeting a variety of businesses. We have also created our ARTIP program, a unique profit-sharing incentive for artisans. This program is a significant competitive differentiator. Next, our go-to-market strategy is centered on social media online shops. Our biggest competitive advantage is focusing on the maker story, not just the product. We'll bring this to life by using videos to highlight the artisan's journey and images for detailed product showcase, creating a powerful connection experience for our customers. We are currently in the ideation and product development phase. Next, we project a 1-year ramp up to stabilize our marketing strategy and consolidate B2C sales. This will provide the foundation to gain traction and scale our B2B solution for exponential growth. Next, building on Vianney's prior experience in this industry, combined with Edgar's and my knowledge, form a strong foundation for scaling the business. Thank you.
Perfect timing, exactly 2 minutes. Judges, your feedback, please.
Thank you so much. I like the layout presentation and flow. That's really, really good, and it's really coming together. I like the story behind the art, and then you're trying to go into unique positionings. Like, we're going to tell that story, and we're going to connect with our customers, and so hopefully uncover that top-end market. So some of the, I think, I won't say inconsistencies, but more of details. So if you're saying you have 130 million people in the, let's say, US markets, your potential customer, I wanted to see if you can segment that perhaps a little bit more. And the reason is that the assumption there is that all of those people would like this unique art from, let's say, original or indigenous or, Mexico, different types of artists, right? So so the assumption is that all of them would like this type of art, which may not be the case, right? So then you need to segment to say we have with these type of demographics out of 130 million people that appreciate that type of art. And there might be not 130, maybe there's 30 million, right? And then say, perhaps you're going to diversify the type of art to attract the 130 million. So in the consistencies that, the critical mindset could say, hey, not a whole 130 million is going to appreciate this type of artist, right? So make sure we don't lead people to that conclusion. And you say, we'll diversify the types of art to appeal to our market of 130 million, right? So make sure you include other types of personas or segmentations to align with that unique products, because not everyone likes that type of unique product, right? From the sales and distribution, when you're showing the B2B channels, B2C appealing to B2B, it would be good if you have a little bit more clarity on the B2B type of customers and who they are and how you're going to approach that. You're talking about building market credibility and establishing yourself. If I am, again, the slide was fast, correct, seeing that you have about 500K projected in year 5 in revenue, that's a bit small. If you're creating all of that and you're just getting to net revenue 500K in 5 years, right? make sure we can figure out how that model is scalable, right? So I would get the year 2 is 500,000 because I was thinking like, is that in millions or is that in thousands? Like, what is this number going? If it's in thousands, make sure you think a little bit more ambitious. If that's a million, let's tune down our ambitions, right? So just to make that alignment, because you want to be scalable enough, like even to attract investors, make money for you, for artists, for create value, but it does need to be represented with reality. So for the market of 130 million people, year 500K is insignificant, but that's my judgment. So please take it with a grain of salt. Thank you.
Excellent presentation. I was going to ask a little bit about supply chain. I did work with a company that produced similar work out of a different part of Latin America. And unfortunately, the supply chain from artisans was the problem. Some of the art can be volume. Some of the art will never be volume because it's one piece at a time. As Alina was saying, I think another piece that's important to discuss somewhere is the type of art that you use versus the type of art that you look at. So there's usable art, and then there's visually appreciable art. And yeah, I was going to say that on the financial page, maybe you can round out those numbers and work in the thousands. And definitely, if you have certain sales going on already, and if you've already achieved the supply chains to bring the products to market now offline, since it can be done without an online presence, you may want to talk just a little bit more about that as well. What's making you qualified to be able to maintain that and maintain a pipeline of product? Uh, One of the key things. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Next up, Lumina. The stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Glenn from Lumina Impact. We are creating a platform for funders and charities to build trust and make philanthropic giving more effective. Next. We are a two-sided network solving two main problems: funders making misinformed giving decisions and charities struggling with ineffective fundraising. My co-founder and I have lived experiences on both sides. Right now, we are focused on tackling the fundraising challenge. Next. Lumina is our all-in-one technology platform that addresses these challenges. These views are for funders. Next. And these are for charities. Next. In our platform, we developed 4 AI-powered products for charities. You may scan the QR code to look at our demos. Spark helps charities set impact goals and key metrics, and we train our models using data from over 1,000 charities in Singapore. Pulse is a consolidated charity social feed to help charities build stronger emotional connections with funders. Horizon is a distilled view of a charity's annual report focused on concise impact narratives that can be shared with funders. And AIR is our flagship product that radically simplifies impact reporting. Next. AIR stands for Agile Impact Reporting. Scan the QR code to see our prototype. We have completed 2 pilot studies collecting beneficiary feedback post-event. We use AI and LLMs to transcribe, sense-make, and visualize it into an impact report, which will be delivered within 4 to 6 hours with a detailed version to follow. Next. Our target market is Asia, which is over $700 billion, and we're currently piloting in Singapore. Next. Since we started in April, we have signed an MOU to develop impact solutions for over 200 charities. We closed a 5-figure deal for a Horizon Impact Report, and in October, we'll host Charity Pitch Fest, the first of its kind in Singapore. We are looking for a title sponsor and suitable partners to join our event. We are also seeking $1.5 million in sponsorship to accelerate our platform development. Next. This is our team, and we are deeply grateful to everyone who have helped us get here. Thank you.
Perfect timing. Thank you very much. Judges, your feedback, please.
Thank you. Very good presentation, very clean. You have quite a large team helping, which is great. And I understood that there were two pilots that you had already conducted, but I didn't necessarily hear any of the feedback that you've received. I also understood that you're working with or going to work with 200 charities. Which have you already started? Has that deal been inked? not quite sure where exactly that is. And then you have a 5-figure deal. Was that as a byproduct of the 2 pilots? So now as you're moving forward and you're actually operational, you really do want to talk a little bit more about the business side. How is this a business and how is this working? I also understand that you're looking for 1.5 million in sponsorship. Is that investment, or how are you using that terminology? Sponsorship normally is money that's given without a, at least in my context, without an idea of a return. You're not really investing in a company. So I just want to make sure that the terminology you're using is accurate. But other than that, good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Just to add to the comments, what I perceived from the sponsorship is that you're looking in the forms of grants, right? And for the grants, you would need to find the type of funders who are looking for the type of impact that you're creating. And in that case, it would be good if you demonstrate the impact, right? So even if you have 2 pilots, part of your impact could be not how much money, but what does that mean for the community? What does that mean for that cause? So in that case, I would also highlight, on top of the business set of metrics and business case that Steve is mentioning to add, you need to include your impact model and say, okay, how does your impact going to work since you're in this space? And that's gonna sort of propel you and align you with the type of funders they'll be looking for this type of impact, right? Because if there's grants, they don't look for returns, but they're looking for something else. So you need to see, what is it, the impact that you're creating? How do you measure and demonstrate that impact? Perhaps with those 2 pilots that you already completed, then you can demonstrate, okay, well, you give us 1.5 million, with the impact that we've created with 2 pilots, we're going to create for tens of thousands of people, or 2 organizations, 5 individuals, something, but you'll demonstrate the level and the depth of the impact that you can create. Thank you. Thanks so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Next up, DT. Vinod, if you could. DT team, the stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Hey everyone, this is Shravan from Aditi. Next slide. CDC reports 1 in every 31 children in the US is diagnosed with autism. But for most families, the help ends at detection. What they need most is, apart from detection, to daily progress. Next slide. Aditi was a eureka moment for us. Aditi is the first platform that combines detection, personalized training, and education modules, all delivered in a customized, familiar voice. Next. Unlike other autism applications that stop at detection, Aditi delivers 4 unique features in one: detection, a full training interface, personalized familiar voice, and an education module. No other solution combines all of these, and that's what makes it truly unique. Since Aditi is purely a training interface, no additional compliance checks or audits are required. Next. After detection, we ask the parent or caretaker to record their voice, which is then cloned using AI voice synthesis to create a digital voice. Based on our user interviews, the autistic kids find it much more comfortable interacting with a known voice. Therefore, the cloned voice is used to interact with the kid for educational and behavioral training. Next slide. Our market strategy shows we can gain maximum traction by starting with parents. They feel the gap every day after diagnosis and are the fastest path for adoption. In the US, there are over 1 million autistic children. Our target is 10% of that, over 100,000 paying families worth over 31 million annually at a base price of $25 per month. We already have 20 families committed to our pilot and are seeing a strong accelerating growth, launching this in September 2025. Next, after phase 1 with families, we expand into special education schools to start with. Our entry point will be in our county, where we can prove success locally. From there, we'll expand gradually to more special education programs nationwide. Next, I now introduce you to my team. We want Aditi to be the Alexa in every autistic kid's home. Thank you so very much for the opportunity.
Perfect timing. Judges, your feedback, please.
Thank you. Great presentation, and your energy comes through for sure, and your passion in this topic. So some of the things, one of the important things, and you've probably seen the competition, there's lots of different products, features, services, that they claim to do certain things. One of the things you want to make sure you can stand out is not just by number of features, but demonstrating the effectiveness or getting the credibility or validation to why your product is going to work. because, well, you're going to have the studies with 20 families, right? That's great. But do you have any accreditation or validation from the scientific perspective, or maybe from the medical or therapy, or like something that gives you the weight that your methodology, that your product actually works or will work? Or if there's a study that has shown that these type of things that you're doing, incorporating, that your product is built in on some other something proprietary or something that gives you the weight and credibility, like this is effective, that works, and it's backed by something, right? So make sure you include that in the presentation, because otherwise you're becoming one of those products, and you don't want to be one of those just has everything. You want to make sure, like, if you do something, that you could do one of those things, two of those things, but they really work, because it's hard to get all four work, right? So you make sure you actually demonstrate that not just number of features, but every one of those things have some level of credibility, affiliation, backing, validation, that the methodology is proven to work, and you're going to be testing that with the families as well. Yeah, I'm going to leave some time for Steve. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you. Great presentation, very clean presentation and appearance and look. Timing was very good of your presentation as well. Excellent energy on your talking points. I would also say that there's a model, there's an ARPU model with families. I think that there's a transition between when you've started working with families, validated your product because you have data, and then taking that data and then scaling towards special education schools and whatnot. I think there's a fairly important step function to get there. And that might be something that you want to discuss a little bit more via a timeline. I don't know if this happens in 1 year, and 5 years, and 2 years. And what sort of hurdles do you need to achieve, or what do you need to achieve in the project from your back end? I recently heard of many markers or keystone markers within autism, from detection through assessment and improvement of certain key areas. I heard this in a presentation, and I wonder if you could tie some of those, let's say, your data and performance results, either from detection and operational improvement, to some of those milestones. I think that would be helpful, just to show us what your track is and what you call improvement, or how you measure it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, judges, for the feedback. Next up, Zafia. The stage is yours 2 minutes from now.
Bex and I didn't grow up being encouraged to pursue art. We found it later in life, and it changed everything. As you'll see from our artwork in this deck, it became our freedom and the foundation of our identity.
But when we turned that passion into a career, we soon realized how hard it is to survive as a freelance artist. We lived those struggles.
Next slide.
After 100 interviews, we found that unstable work and income, limited business resources, and burnout and isolation are keeping talented artists from reaching their potential.
Next slide.
Zathia solved these problems with a personalized growth suite and AI-powered learning to master the business side of their practice, and goal-driven community connection to break isolation and spark collaboration.
Next slide.
We've developed an MVP which has had over 200 users testing and validating the product for us. The experience adapts to each artist's goals, so Zathia works for them, not the other way around.
Next slide.
Products artists are currently using, such as Notion and Miro, are too broad. They're not designed for artists, and they don't combine the business learning with the community. Zathia is the only holistic ecosystem built by creatives for creatives.
Next slide.
Our sum, over 500 million over 5 years, reflects the scalable potential of our model in an industry that hasn't seen change in decades. Our GTM targets one of the largest, most tech-forward segments of the market. We're launching with a tiered subscription model, and will expand capital through partnerships with the Royal College of Art and the UK Freelancer Union, adding more collaboration opportunities for creatives, helping generate in the UK only 14 mil revenue by year 5. Next slide.
We're artists, business experts, and siblings. With our lived creative experience and business expertise, we can merge worlds in a unique way.
AI is shaking the foundations of the creative world, and this is the moment to act, to empower artists to harness AI, not be replaced by it, saving them time, elevating their craft, and delivering what only humans can create. Zathia transformed artists from barely surviving to powerfully thriving, preserving creativity that is uniquely human. Thank you.
Perfect timing. Thank you. Judges, your feedback, please.
Thank you for your presentation. Very well done. Good timing, very smooth transition between slides. I thought that was a very good idea. And you do mention that you have 200 users, active users, testing your product, yet you didn't mention what their impact or responses have been to the product. This is key. If you haven't surveyed them, I would suggest you do and ask them some very pointed, targeted questions. What are the best features of the product? What do they not like of the product? Et cetera, et cetera. This is really important. Revenue, cost structure, and business model. You do have revenue numbers there, not necessarily tied into exactly how you're going to build the revenue. I think you're going to have a subscription type model, which is good. There's no cost structure associated to your model at this point. I think you might want to get a sense of what those costs are. And I know that you have product development and customer acquisition here as two things that you want to spend the money on, but you do want to have a little bit more of a high level numerical representation of what your cost structure might be. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you. Great presentation. Again, I feel the energy that's coming through and the passion on this subject. So that's part of what we do, because it's so energizing. Just to add that once you hit the MVP stage pilot, you'll have some data, you have some metrics. So that shifts the mindset of the audience and investor or partner, because now I want to hear the data. Out of 200 users that's been using your product, how much time do they spend? How many times they open the app? Let's say we have 200, we piloted 200, but they used it for 10 hours a day. That's a very good metric. That was a good indicator for me that your product rocks, right? So it is different that we have 200 subscribers that never opened our app, right? So make sure you show the value of your product. It's a simple statement, but you're going to highlight the value of a product. Instead of you telling how good your product is, the best day that you can say our customers love our product, and out of 200 people, 180 spend 3 hours a day opening, going back to the app, uploading new content, reading through our stories, and so on and so forth, right? So highlight that. It's going to give more weight and credibility than anything which you can say, right? So, and then a little bit, I'm just going to be nitpicking again on the details. If you're asking for money, say, what is it going to get you to? Right? So if you're saying like 212 months gain 5,000 years, so that's the traction. So it's good to show like your again, maybe timeline or perspective, where you're at, where you're gonna be, and then from the value inflection, right? So if you're having subscription base, 87 per year. So just tidy it up to Steve said, have the revenue, have like nice steady trajectory. And then what's going to happen next after that? Are you going to have another raise to scale up and then so forth? Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you, judges. Next up, Praxis Taxes. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Hi everyone, we're Praxis Taxes, the AI tax planning coach, here to convert tax anxiety into calm. Next slide. Lisa, David, and Anika all face similar issues where lack of awareness and planning costed them thousands of dollars. Next slide. Through our user interviews, we have observed a tax planning gap, lack of knowledge, cost barriers, and fragmented tools. We estimate the total addressable market for tax planning to be $40.21 billion. Next slide. To address this gap, we're building an AI tax planning coach, which provides guidance, modeling, and forecasting. Next slide. Here is our initial prototype. For example, David, a W-2 employee who is changing jobs and has a family, can quickly pick his persona, fill out a survey, and see AI-based tax recommendations. Our initial prototype will include recommendations and an AI chatbot. Next slide. Here is a closer look at our prototype. where you see he can pick a specific persona and it shows you the life impacts. Next slide. Here it shows you his AI persona and questions he can ask to the AI tax coach. Next slide. When comparing our solution to other tax companies, we see that our solution is differentiated as planning first as opposed to filing first. Next slide. Our billing model is simple and subscription-based, supporting 3 tiers. Next slide. Our GTM strategy targets different personas, and we plan to drive acquisition through SEO, influencer marketing, and integrating with accounting tools. Next slide. Our revenue model will include subscription and usage-based, partner revenue, and ads revenue. Next slide. In 2024, our team met on the Y Combinator co-founder matching platform and achieved initial research milestones. In 2025, thanks to Lisa's frameworks and
We'll have to
mentorship.
stop you there. Thank you for your presentation. Judges, your feedback, please.
Hi, teams. Thank you so much. Great presentation. I was just trying to comprehend the last slide. A lot of information. Well, so there's a few things that you said that triggered a thought. And again, some of this was minute but significant. Part of your go-to-market strategy is integrating with accounting tools. At the same time, you're saying your competitive advantage is that you don't just do, filing, but you also do forecasting and planning. Well, so for your demographic who's already been filing taxes on the past, I'm assuming, right, in the past, they've already used a whole bunch of tools. So bigger question that's triggered is like why you don't start and why you don't design your solution to integrate it with TurboTax right away. Because they have market, right? You can be, instead of B2C, you can be B2B, and you can just develop a solution for them. And if you're selling it to TurboTax, you're going to be rich just by doing that, because that's a lot of money. So that's kind of like triggering points. That basically saying you're trying to do all of that and you're trying to acquire customers one at the time versus just make a B2B solution. Why are you not making a B2B solution and partnering with other players on the market? They're already doing better job than you do, and they already have the market. So instead of you trying your effort and energy of trying to set yourself up for something, if you've got something that is of value, just demonstrate that value to B2B customers and let them partner with you, right? Unless there's, something that, you do need to have something proprietary, something that's tested, something validated on the value perspective. But once you showcase that value, that's just a thought. Again, take it with a grain of salt. But it triggered because of the way you're presenting. It's like, well, and we're going to partner with accounting tools. Like, great. Well, why you don't start with that, right? Because that's, in some levels, less energy than trying to create a new market or acquire a new market for yourself versus going into a channel that's already there, right? And okay, I'm gonna leave some time for Steve, but yeah, that's just some of the feedback. Thank you so much. Good presentation.
Yes, great presentation, walkthrough, follow through. There's you have a sort of a freemium service, and then you have a paid service. What is the difference between those two? I think what would compel someone to pay for the service? You mentioned multiple revenue streams. I think that one is a little bit hard to understand when accounting, tax planning is not the key revenue source, and I'm not sure if it is or it isn't. But when we talk about advertising, everything else, I think it sort of muddles the picture a little bit. Here, I think that the model, the tax advice model and tax prep model is very clear in terms of how people do it, and then your value add on top of this. And the other piece here is, just a second here, your total addressable market. It says by 2032. I think you can put the total addressable market of today. We're in 2025. That would be 7 years from now. Just a nitpick. And then I also think that there's the planning and prep is quite important as a small business owner myself. And there is a way of working either as a freelancer or small business owner that certain certain specific criteria of how you manage your books. This is the managing your accounting books prior to presentation for taxes is a huge part of what you should be doing as a small business or freelancer, which most people don't. So this is the bookkeeping aspect. When you're planning, you may want to consider and think about that piece, unless it's, if that's something you wouldn't thought of in the product. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good judges. Next up, knowledge-driven operations. The stage is yours. 2 minutes. Are you there, team?
Sorry about that. One missing component can halt entire production lines, costing manufacturers up to $500K per day in losses. This shortage crisis is paralyzing aerospace, auto, and semiconductors. Next slide. Cohort is scaling production for space, autos, and semiconductors, saving up to $4 million annually and 85% uptime. Space manufacturing is already transformed. Next slide. Total manufacturing shortage impact post-COVID and tariffs is $500 billion to $1 trillion. Next slide, please. We are specifically targeting 3,000 mid-level US manufacturers in space, auto, and semiconductors. Our platform can deliver up to $2 billion in revenue and up to $10 billion in industry savings. Next slide, please. And please click once again. Cohort connects enterprises in real time, linking systems and teams. Top left is the enterprise connectivity, top right is cross-domain collaboration, and the bottom is the cost savings. Our demo integrates inventory, supply chain, and production data, detects shortages, analyzes root cause, and drives collaboration in real time, cutting costs and time. Next slide, please. Cohort detects shortages in minutes, not days, with knowledge graphs and AI. Autonomous agents prevent 90% of shortages, saving up to millions and ensuring 85% uptime, transforming supply chain impact and production throughput now. Next slide. We have solved shortage in one of the largest space manufacturers. We have successfully delivered 3 large platforms. Next slide. In advanced talks with 3 enterprises, including the world's largest logistic company, year 1 target is $2 million, scaling to $8 million by year 3. Thank you.
7 seconds left. Good timing. Judges, your feedback, please.
I can go quickly. I did give you a cue feedback. So just to nitpick here, we have a bit heavy slides on the content, especially if the font is so small, it's almost impossible to read. So I would assume this is a deck that you would send to someone to read to get information, more informational deck, rather than presentation, especially in this short period of time. You attempted, you had a little bit of time left. I know you're trying to rush in to go through. And I assume, again, because we had a prior conversation, so I understand your business a little bit better. But for the audience that have not perhaps heard the details of your venture, might be hard to follow the speed and the amount of content that you're presenting. So I would, if anything, pause to slow down to make sure people understand rather than just go through really fast. Yeah, I see the nice go-to-market plan and to highlight the value. And then maybe the question is like, what's next for you, and what if there's something that you're asking, right? From the audience or from the investors. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you. Great presentation on the revision. It still has a lot of detail, but it's flowing and it's moving forward nicely. And there are some specific pieces and parts which could be improved and polished a little bit and I think what Alina mentioned was really thinking about the experience that your team has in AI and supply chain in these industries. The typical viewer and user will not be as well rehearsed, and they may have a little bit of trouble following the content, the amount of content. So there may be ways to simplify. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you, judges. Next up, Good Loop. The stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael, co-founder of Good Loop. Next, please. Let me ask, have you ever struggled workday school pickup, or you had to say no to your children's favorite after-school activities just because you couldn't get them there? Next, please. According to CARE report, over 90% of working parents struggle with balancing childcare and work, and there's a lack of reliable tool to get them help. Next, please. That's why we build a Good Loop, a community-powered platform where parents help parents. Families can invite friends, neighbors, school parents to their private network to request and ask for help, from childcare, ride sharing, and tutoring, and more. Next. Safety is our foundation. We have tech-powered safety features like location tracking, background check, audio monitoring, one-click emergency button, and insurance, and more. Next. Unlike our competitors, we only connect you with people you trust, never strangers. It's the one platform with all the features you need. Next. Our business model is freemium with transaction fee and premium subscription. Next. We are now testing beta with 30 local Bay Area working parents with good engagement, and local after-school partners are eager to use our platform. Next. Here's our team of 10. Next. We are launching in Bay Area in October, aiming to break even after year 2. Next. With Good Loop, never 3 p.m. struggle. Next.
We have to stop you here. Thank
Join
you very
us
much.
in simplifying childcare.
Judges, your feedback, please.
Thank you. I can get started. Great presentation. I love the slides, and you had a nice combination of information and the steady flow. So this was good, comprehensive. One of the things again popped up and triggered is that whenever you say we have a freemium version and there's some subscription or some transactions, would be good to understand, what are people paying for? What's the value that people are getting for free? And what is it, the value that the people are getting for something that they need to pay, right? So then perhaps for 3-minute pitch, if you have a little bit of time, you can tag in and explain, okay, what are people paying for, right? And then if you have any evidence that it's a gap, right? For someone to get someone you're giving for free and then somebody converting into paying customer. So what would be the trigger for a parent or for someone to go into converting paying customer, and then talking who the model a little bit more on the revenue model there, just to elaborate. And I really like how you emphasize the safety. You said something about the tech-powered platform or something like the tech-powered. I wasn't sure what it was. So again, if you have a few seconds to say, what is that tech that provides safety? Like because that's an important piece. It's the value that you're highlighting here. Thank you so much. I'm in the Bay Area, so maybe I'm your customer. A great presentation.
Yes, great presentation, very clean look on the slides. I did see, so there were just a couple things here. You had a number of clients that are testing the platform. Again, as we've spoken to other presentations, if they're testing the platform, ask them what they think of the product. That's really important at this stage. You also said that there were some after-school programs that were anxious to use the product. Well, the key question is why? Why do they want to use the product? Is it marketing, or is it actual? Are people actually saying this to you? That this is what we're trying to understand, because that's giving us traction in terms of what, that this product can be is valuable to people. The other piece is you show the team, and you want to kind of give a sense of, you've got 10 people on the team. That's a lot of people for a startup generally. And what are they contributing? Maybe 1 or 2 bullets of how this team is working together and contributing to the goal. I think that would be valuable. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the feedback, judges. Next up, Bushido. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Hi, this is Rita from Pichetto. Next slide. Imagine loving something so much you spend hours chasing it across the internet only to miss the moments that matter. That was my life and is now my nephew Amir's. Amir is a die-hard Ronaldo fan, but to keep up, he bounces between 6 platforms. Content is scattered, communities are diluted, and fans can't control what they see. Next slide. In MENA and India alone, there are 170 million active social media fans, making up a $3.4 billion market. Next slide. Pisheto is the one-stop hop for fans, bringing everything together and solving the said problems. Next slide. Consolidating content, commerce, connection, and community forms the complete fan experience we're building towards. Next slide. The heart of our differentiation is our AI assistant that personalizes highlights and recommendations. Fans can share what they want and instantly get curated videos. Next slide. Unlike other platforms, we offer a highly personalized and localized experience. Next slide. We will launch with Bollywood. Next slide. We will launch with Bollywood micro communities using public celebrity media. Fans vote on celebrities they want, giving us proof of demand we can later use to recruit celebrities. Next slide. We start free to capture communities, monetize with AI and ads later, then introduce celebrity-based revenue models once we onboard them. Next slide. We're here, prototype ready, user testing next, MVP after. Once we scale fan communities, we prepare for celebrity onboarding. Next slide. I was on the founding team of a $20 billion DeFi protocol from ideation to launch, and Mo has co-founded 2 AI and blockchain startups and raised $40 million. Next slide. We're seeking later to raise...
Sorry, we have to stop you here. Alina has to leave after this feedback session, so we will have Alina go first, if that's okay with you all. And Ron Lerma, our very own, will kindly jump in as a judge.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And then teams, for those teams that I'll miss, please feel free to reach out if you'd like to get some feedback. Thank you, Team Shadow. Really nice to see comprehensive, well-put pitch deck now. We see a lot of improvements, so thank you for that. I like how you highlighted the market, the reason, the persona would be good. You talked about micro communities, Bollywood communities. It's still the question is like, how are you gonna do you have someone? Do you have a prospects? Because it becomes more tangible and say, okay, this is the community, this is the person we're gonna start with, or these are these 2 celebrities, and we already talked to them, or we talk to their agents, right? Because it gets a little bit more gravity, and it gives you like the validation to all of your hypothesis, because it's all hypothesis until you're testing it out. So if you bring it up and say, these are the 2 celebrities we're starting with, or 3 or 5 or 10, and they have micro community, they have this, and why are you starting with them? And you say, oh, they have diehard fans, right? I mean, I'll say if you start with the big celebrities, it may be harder to get. But that trajectory of acquiring celebrities, and from my understanding, you're not trying to directly perhaps working with that, but initially trying to congregate and consolidate the content from various platforms. But in that case becomes, why did you pick one celebrity versus the other, right? It's like, what is it about, Swifties, Taylor Swift versus Pearl Jam? I'm just making stuff up, right? But why would you go after one type of fans versus the other type of fans? And it might be how amount of money they spend on products, right? It might be the demographics. So I'll assume Pearl Jam fans don't spend as much time and money as Swifties trying to follow their celebrity. But that isn't important, especially early on, for you to get to that through that traction and demonstrate your the value that you're creating. And again, when you talk about you fundraising $1 million, don't say we're just going to spend that money, but what's the value inflection to investor to get after you get that $1 million? Like, what's the value is going to be in 3, 6 months, a year? Is it a number of users? Is it a partnership? Is it just kind of mindset from the investor perspective? And then thank you, teams. Thank you, everyone who I've seen. And if I have not seen you yet, feel free to reach out for some feedback. And I'm just amazed to see all the tremendous progress. And you can see from other teams too, that everyone's doing a great job working on the pitches and then I'm looking forward to the finals. So congratulations and best of luck to you all. I have to jump off. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Elena. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the presentation. Well done, well organized, and it flowed well. And I think I'm just going to piggyback on the celebrities aspect. There was a celebrity-based revenue model, and when we talk about a Ronaldo, um, global celebrity, global footballer, that's very different from thinking of localized. So I think there's maybe a bridge there where if there are local sports fan or sports celebrities that would either be easier to bring on board or where you could have more exclusive or customized content. I think maybe addressing that might help here as well, because a Ronaldo would sign with an ESPN or others because of their fame and popularity and value, content value. I don't know if it's a fair comparison. I know from a use case it makes sense, but maybe you have ideas of how you would make it local for a local fan group that would want to log in on a daily basis and read about the celebrities that you're curating for a particular area and focus. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Next up, Vital OKR. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Pri, founder of Vital OKR. Switch. How many of you live in reporting hell, spending half your time every quarter updating KPIs across a mishmash of tools only to realize you're off track on execution? First world problem. Switch. Meet Vital OKR, a platform purpose-built for the entire ecosystem of your company, the CEO, the chief of staff, that functional leader. We centralize OKR setup, layer in AI insights, all to reduce that reporting bloat. Switch. Why me? Why bet on Pri? Because I bring founder market fit. I've lived this in the trenches, been that chief of staff to my COO, chasing OKR updates at 1 a.m. the night before the board meeting. It didn't make my manager the CEO. It didn't get me the promotion I wanted. It's why I came to Stanford and why I built this. Switch. TAM, SAM, and our beachhead song boils down to that 1.7 billion market in the Americas with a 5-year runway to profitability. Switch. Revenue scales by tier and the number of functions owning OKRs. More functions means more AI insights, more data usage, more revenue, and higher margins. Switch. Go to market. We start with founder-led sales, land single function plans, grow them from the inside out, expanding across other functions, and from the outside in by acquiring new customers in the market. Switch. We are a small but mighty team of builders, engineers, and storytellers, all committed to one thing: excellence in execution. Today, we're seeking warm intros to pilot partners and $1 million in funding to acquire early adopters and launch. The time is now. The team is us. Thank you.
Perfect timing. Judges, your feedback, please.
Well done, Priya. Steve, if I can go first, if you don't mind. So, Priya, good job. I love the energy. I like your slide deck. It's all coming together quite well from the first time we did this. My first comment is the problem development. It seems like the problem development is not fully developed to capture the investor audience or your audience in general. You have really good experience in this problem, and I would like to have seen more of your struggle which developed this startup. Your ask is also good. And I'm going to stop right there and let Steven go ahead and give his comments as well.
Thank you. Well done. I like the flow of the presentation. I like your focus on your background as the entrepreneur that's driving this and the team that you've assembled. And I like overall the product. I think that it would be good to talk a little bit more about any sort of customer insights or soft testing that you've done with the concept with users? And beyond your own deep experience, who else have you tested this product with, and what have been the outcomes, and what is really, how is that a driver towards building the MVP? Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Next up, DigiFab AI. The stage is yours, 2 minutes. Are you there, team?
Can you hear me?
Now we
Sorry,
can.
the connection issue. So we are the AI autopilot for manufacturing quality. Next slide, please. So manufacturing is losing 28 billion to preventable defects. 70% of the QC includes manual inspection and 40% is late-stage failures. Next, please. So we are the AI autopilot for manufacturing quality. And what makes us different is we are a real-time correction, not just a detection. So we work across materials, metal, composite, and bio. Next slide, please. And this is how it works. We do have sensors, and then we have DigiFab AI, which is the AI core platform that detects, classifies, and corrects anomalies in real time, then adjusts the path to send instant corrections to the machine controller and prevents the defect from forming in the first place. So with DigiFab AI, there's no rework, no waste, just right. Next, please. So we are looking into very large numbers with TAMS and SUM, with some being 500 million with 1,000 early adopter facilities. Next, please. So we are looking into 2 active pilots in Oregon Metal Company as well as an aerospace company in the Seattle area. We have initial funding from Google Cloud, and we are validated when it comes to our machine learning models for defect classification. Next, please. So we are in phase 1 in aerospace and semiconductor space with 2 active pilots going on, focusing on metal additive manufacturing and composite manufacturing. Next, please. So we have competitive landscape, but DigiFab AI brings the most unique material agnostic and hardware agnostic solution with AI capabilities. Next, please.
Stop you here. Judges,
We have a
repeat.
large team from Intel,
We have to stop.
Stanford,
Sorry.
and other bioengineering companies that we are working together with. And currently, we are seeking 1 million to bring our simulation
We have to stop you right here.
instrumentation in place and work with Google Cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
Please don't consider the last 10 seconds, judges.
Yeah. Stephen, why don't you go ahead? I have a lot to say about this, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I think this is in some ways it has some similarities to a prior presentation that we had on supply chain, but this is in fabrication. I think that the content is technical. It's interesting. It's a lot to take in and understand how it's working or how it's moving forwards. But it's moving at a good pace. What I would ask is, do you have any? Are you testing the product in any organizations? Have you been able to get some feedback, real-time feedback? I'm pretty sure you do have this information somewhere in the presentation. I may have missed it, but I didn't really see any validation of that testing. The other piece that I would mention is that in one of the charts you were showing your capabilities versus others. Not so sure what the triangle means. Just a visual symbol. I don't know if that's the right visual symbol you want to show as either your product has it and their product doesn't. I'm not sure what the triangle means, but great setup, great team, excellent.
Yeah. So I work in the aerospace, and so if this is directed to engineer investors, I think you're spot on. It's complex, but they would get what you're doing, because this is a problem within the supply chain, and it's getting more complex. A couple things. I didn't hear anything about compliance. There's a lot of compliance in the aerospace industry, and also the Department of Defense. There's a lot of money going into the DoD right now, and they're looking for for solutions in this space. You also mentioned you have some pilot programs that are developing, or you have some traction already. I think leaning on, if you have a paying customer or a potential paying customer, we want to know about that. I see huge improvements with this. I think you're onto something here. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Next up, Digital Locker. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Next slide, please. Hi, I'm Anu Ramraj, top 25 digital transformation leader and trusted advisor to Fortune 500 CEOs and state leaders. I'm here to present the story of Jordan, who is one of 50,000 foster kids in California, a problem that was brought to us by state leadership, how Jordan struggles to enroll in school or get benefits because he cannot find his documents. Same problem faced by the homeless, seniors, and millions of users that cannot find their documents. Next slide, please. Our solution is an AI and blockchain-enabled platform. It's a digital vault that users can download documents directly from government agencies, upload documents, get them notarized, use blockchain to make them immutable, and the best part, use AI agents to autofill future applications. Next slide, please. We also have the benefits of DigiLocker pretty apparent. We have, you can use it from immigration checks to ER to Jordan, who then applies to his favorite school. Next slide, please. We are starting with these following categories of documents, and we are actually doing user testing with our prototype, and the feedback so far with 100+ users has been overly positive. Next slide, please. We are different from competition in that we not only have the typical storage and the signing of documents, but we have the integrations, the AI workflows, and the notary stuff. Next one. We have the MVP launching in September. Next one. And this is our basic subscription model. Next slide, please. And this is the best part of it. We have a commitment for 50,000 users, foster kids, to be onboarded to our platform. And beyond that, we are talking with CalPERS to work with about 1 million+ retirees. Next slide. We have the right team in place for this. Next slide. And we're asking $1.5 million to build out the pilot and to build out.
Thank you very much. The time is up. Much appreciated. Judges, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Stephen, go ahead.
Great presentation. Each series of presentations has become clearer and clearer in terms of your product and how you're looking to put this together. Again, I'm going to focus on some of the feedback. You have many people that are providing feedback, and you say that it's overly positive. Just keep in mind that that's good, but you're going to want to get into a little bit more detail. What's positive about this? What have been the more specific feedbacks that you've been provided? But overall, very good and detailed. Thank you.
Yeah, I see some really great improvements here. And the problem that you're going after is a huge problem. The foster youth, it's growing. And the space that you're in about, organizing their stuff, like some of these youth get transferred 3 or 4 times. And then when they get out of the system, it causes yet another problem. So you're right in that space. The first thing that comes to mind is security of this. How is the information going to be locked down and secured? And also, how does it make money? Is it more government funded or is it privately? There's a lot of organizations in this space trying to fix problems, but they run into the situation of who pays. And so it wasn't clear on how your profit model works. Is this a 501c?
No, it will be a for-profit.
Oh, for profit. Okay. So yeah, I think focusing on that model, how do you make money? How does the investor, if you're asking for 1.5, I get you're making the platform, but how did you get your money back?
Thank you, judges. Next up, Lee. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Hello, how are you? My name is Santiago. I am one of Fullsys co-founder. Next, please. the problem that we are trying to solve is the drug discovery is extremely slow and expensive. There is only one for every 10,000 molecules that turn into an approved drug. Next, please. The industry has been investing a lot of money to improve this process, but as you can see from this chart, the results are not yet coming, and this gap is increasing. Next, please. Therefore, there are a lot of patients that are not getting their drugs, and many diseases are still orphan diseases. Next. With our team, we have developed a solution. We combined AI with a lot of experience from our scientific team, and we created an algorithm that is 40 times more efficient at identifying hits. Hits are molecules that have therapeutical effects that are the ones that we are designed to find. And next, please. We are focusing primarily in this part of the process of drug discovery at the very earlier stages. Next, please. We have identified our customer as mid-sized pharma companies, not big pharma, but mid-size, because they are into R&D, but they don't have in-house enough power to recreate and have again this kind of innovations. Therefore, our services are better valued there. Next, please. We are very competitive, mainly in costs, but we have also great ability to scale, and we are versatile. Next. And our team has a lot of experience, and our scientific team has been working together for more than 15 years. Next, please. We have been recognized last year by many organizations.
We have to stop you
and
right
we
here.
are hoping to.
We have to stop you
Thank
right
you
here.
very
The
much, Victor.
2 minutes are up. Really, judges your feedback.
Steven, would you like to go again first?
The presentation, much improved from the prior presentation. It's cleaner and simpler to understand. I do have a couple of questions. I'm not sure if the audience knows exactly what orphan diseases are. I don't, so I kind of got lost there, but just a nomenclature feedback. Then when we talk about the possible clients, you know you don't want to shoot for small laboratories, and you want to shoot into a middle market, but why not large? Is that because they already have these tools, or because I'm not quite sure why it's middle market only or mid-size company? I understand that you're cost competitive, but if any organization can use your product to eliminate those outcomes that are not valuable and get closer to the hits, then it seems like it could be valuable for more than just mid-size. So we didn't get a sense of what your cost model is and how you would sell this to the different mid-market, but that would be of interest to know. And if you've already generated an MVP and you've already cycled through data, historical or something that shows how you got to that 40x, I think that would be valuable to explain a little bit more. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Santiago, good job on this. Drug discovery and speed to market. The drug business always has a huge barrier to entry. What I didn't see or hear is it seems like you're starting in Argentina, maybe Europe, but how do you get it? Are you trying to get into the USA market? And if so, what's the pathway to do that? Because there's not only compliance, but there's a significant barrier to entry. And typically drug businesses have a huge sunk cost and of development, what have you. So and I realize you only have 2 minutes, and there's probably on the 3 minutes you'll have more information. But it was well done. I like the team, and I think that this problem is worthy of being solved. Getting drugs to market faster to those who, well, not only for those who need it, but I think it was the youth that you're focusing on. Good job.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Thank you for the feedback, judges. Next up, Rooted AI. The stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Rooted.ai, and here's our story. Next. We grew up using simple natural remedies passed on through our family. Whenever Arjun has a soccer bruise, he goes straight to the kitchen and finds turmeric to soothe it. When his little brother has a fever, we'll use bottle gourd to cool him down. These remedies work, but they are hard to access and trust, and that's the core problem we're solving. Next.
There are 3 critical gaps preventing people from using this wisdom. These remedies are often lost in tradition, become out of reach, and there's a trust deficit online due to a lack of a credible source. Next.
Rooted fixes these issues. We provide remedies that are personalized, evidence-based, and inclusive, connecting users with trusted ancient knowledge. Next. After extensive research, we focused on 3 key customer groups. Our go-to-market is aimed at Parker, who is health-curious, digitally native, and wants credible information quickly. Next.
Our product is designed for simplicity. As you can see, users can get personalized remedies with clear instructions, backed by trusted yet verifiable sources. They'll see what to do and why it works. Next.
The global market for complementary medicine and natural supplements is $300 billion. TAM in the US alone is massive, of which our obtainable market for the target customer profile is significant and is growing. Next.
Our GTM strategy is focused on getting a lot of attention quickly through social media platforms to gain virality and attract customers. We operate on a freemium pricing model, providing users with 5 queries per month and the option to upgrade for $4.99. We also plan to integrate product partnerships and brand safe ads next.
Our roadmap is ambitious. We're aiming for 100,000 users in year 1, scaling to over 1 million by year 2. Our vision for year 5 is to reach 25 million users and 150 million ARR. Next. Here's the team that will make it happen. Next.
We're rooted and we invite you to join us. Thank you.
Please try it out. Thank you, guys.
We have to stop you right here.
Yeah,
Almost perfect.
Yeah, I'll go
judges-
first. I'll go first, Stephen. So Arjun, I think I should hire you. That's my first comment. So yeah, I think this is a growing trend, using homeopathic remedies. The short story, I blew myself up on my barbecue, and from Hispanic families, they use aloe vera to heal burn wounds. When I went to the burn center, they were not even aware of this, but it made me a believer in homeopathic and ancient. So I do think you're onto something. How to get there, I think there's a pretty significant educational piece. There's always a significant fight between the medical community and homeopathic drugs or homeopathic remedies. So I didn't see that in your pitch, how you're going to answer that question. The educational piece, and also the how, as this is trending, how big is this trend, and where is this money going to be spent? I get it was a B2C model. That's going to take a long time to get there. But good job. I think you're on the right path. Stephen?
Presentation, there's definitely a space and a need for this information. I would wonder whether or not you're a freestanding source of information, or would you be part of a or many sites that aggregate purchases? I can imagine how many people are buying supplements, whether they're natural or synthetic, on an eBay or an Amazon. And wouldn't it be great if Rufus could actually access information on ancient
I
ancient
switched
solutions?
to hotspot and well, otherwise worked.
So that's some of the feedback there is really understanding how you scale up from the freemium to the paid model, and how, since it's information based, how can you maintain that paid model enduring into the future? It may be on evaluation, more analysis. Maybe it's not an FDA analysis, but something more involved. There's a huge gap in information when looking at supplements of all different types, and really understanding whether or not they work. Are they natural? Are they clean? There are lots of people tackling this at once, but there may be some opportunities there to to, 'Bring that into the equation. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Next, Frameshift AI. Vinod, if you could. Team, the stage is yours, 2 minutes.
Hello, welcome to Frameshift AI. Next. I've been working in innovation for the last 15 years, and the biggest hurdle is speed and finding information to generate new ideas and find hidden gems. Next slide, please. So how can we help innovation teams to move faster and save time? So we are building an agentic digital co-worker, which does the heavy lifting for the innovation team, especially in the beginning of the innovation path, where you have to do a lot of deep research. We have been scooped several times in the past, and I've been talking to friends at companies like Hasbro or SAP that face the same challenge. Next slide. So how do we make money with our digital employee? We are offering our product for 200K a year. It's equivalent to a single professional. The value it provides is a shorter time to market. We did the first calculation. It reduces time to market by up to 6 months, significantly accelerating the innovation step. So the addressable market we have calculated with roughly 30,000 companies that fit our target market is $4.6 billion. Next slide. So what we're building is a product, it's a human-centric innovation platform. It's a single platform. All information is in one space. It's meant to augment the innovation process and work with the team and guide them from insight to implementation. Next slide. To ask Steve's question from before, how we are different, general LLMs are not designed to do this. There's prompt fatigue among the users. The data are dispersed, the tools are dispersed. We do everything in one place. Under the hood, we built a model-independent, innovation-centric logic and framework. Next slide. So team, I've been working in innovation since the last 15 years. As I said, I'm interviewing a CTO and looking for a CPO. Next slide. The ask, we're looking for 1.25 million save to complete a MVP, to build a framework, secure our first 2 design partners and scale the team.
Thank you very much. Judges, your feedback, please.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Would you like to go first on this?
Sure, thank you. Great presentation. It's definitely come along, and thank you for answering the questions that we asked in the prior session. I would also say that I would also ask whether or not there's, within the AI product that you're building, is it important to mention something like context engineering, right? How much input users will give to the product for the product to help them shape innovation, based on some of the products that I've seen out there by Amazon Web Services and whatnot. They're starting to do this, and I'm just wondering, are these competitors to your product? Is there something unique about the product and how you're building it and how it will interact with the teams? And how it will interact with either that company or that client's data, or that client and many others out there, public information. As you might have seen, Reddit's already blocked off all of its information to a lot of the internet crawlers that are pulling for into some of the competitors that you mentioned earlier. So data will be a premium, especially that public data, and it will probably be blocked off. So just some thoughts there, and then a typical use case where this digital employee will continue to add value in time for a team, whether it be on strategy, operations, innovation. It could be at different layers and levels, where they become sort of a full-time integrated product and tool for many things. Thank you.
Harold, thank you. The huge improvement here. Not that it was bad in the beginning. Yeah, it's becoming very, very clear in the space that you're going into. It's not only a crowded space, but it's opportunity space. It's new. It's a new area to dig into, and I see you doing this with an LLM solution. It seems like part of the solution here is really the time to market, and you're making it easier for users to gather that information. I think the dilemma, as Steven had mentioned, is there's now data is the new currency. And so how do you protect it? How do you make money with it? And how does as this thing evolves, where does it go next? Like, what is the next step? On the ask part, I I think right now in Silicon Valley and others, the AI area is it's a bumpy ride. But there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be had. I think you're on the right path. So good job. Keep going.
Thank you so much, judges. Next up, I don't believe that Thrive has submitted their slides. Ola's Health is next. And the stage is yours, 2 minutes.
All right, next slide. You slept 8 hours, you hit your step goal, you still feel drained. Why? Because your body's data is scattered and no one's connected it to your mind's health. Next slide. Meet Alex. She runs corporate wellness programs for 3,000 employees. She has surveys, Slack reminders, and Calm app subscriptions, but 70% of her people still report chronic stress. Next slide. Burnout is rising, attrition is climbing, and leadership wants answers, but Alex is flying blind. Next slide. This isn't just Alex's problem. Chronic stress is costing a global workforce over $1 trillion in lost productivity every year, and the current mental health model is reactive. Focus on crisis care when it's already too late. Next slide.
This is the intelligence layer that managers like Alex have never had. We provide an accurate real-time temperature check on their workforce's mental health and help their employees become more aware of stress by giving them the tools to improve their mental fitness. Next slide. Here's how it works. Arlis syncs mood check-ins with biosignals like HRV, sleep, and movement from employees' existing wearables. Our AI engine spots early warning patterns to deliver personalized coaching and behavioral nudges. On the back end, managers like Alex can see anonymized, aggregated data in simple dashboards. Next slide. We're starting with HR leaders in high-stress industries, driving $1 billion wedge into $1 trillion problem. Our go-to-market plan starts with employees, enterprise workforce pilots paired with consumer apps to build engagement, which can also funnel into paid enterprise accounts. Next slide. I'm Robert, product leader with Microsoft and government experience. My partner Chris has built and exited companies and led marketing for high trust industries. We lived burnout ourselves and we're building what we wish we had. Next slide. We're growing our interest list and have companies ready to pilot OList for their workforce.
2 minutes are up. We have to stop you here. Thank you very much. Judges, go ahead, please.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Stephen, I'll go. I think we all need this as founders. This is our stress is high. So the mental health business is growing and having solutions in this. I think you're in the right spot. Having the wearables, I think that's evolving as well. I mean, from the smartwatch to others, and there's other devices out there as well. But I heard you say that you're focusing on the HR leaders and then that metrics on how much money a company would save. And then also, it wasn't clear to me on the how this would actually get done. But the pitch was, it was nice. It was clear. It was concise. I think you're on the right track with this. I like it. Stephen, your comments?
Thank you for the presentation. And I do have, I think that it would be good if you could talk or elaborate a little bit more on where you are in the process. Have you been able to build a baseline MVP? Have you tested your ideas through? I think that the problem is there and most people are aware of it. The solution is not that simple, especially because when you start being tracked by wearables, it becomes a bit invasive. There's a bit of a privacy piece to this, and some people will be willing and some people will not be willing to be part of this, especially if it's coming from an employer that's wiring you up through existing wearables and monitoring your sleep and monitoring this and that and the other. So there will be some hills to go over in terms of who uses this, and I think possibly more connected younger generations may be more prone, especially now. For example, we're seeing people using AI as sort of mentors and personal advice So we know that the trend is moving in that direction. The rate of adoption and how it adopts within an organization is still to be seen, just how that market penetration. And to my point there is, I think you do want to give a sense of what the model would look like in terms of how you would charge for this service, for the product, for the tool, for the feedback, for the reporting, for recommendations, whether they be for management, for supervisors, for staff, for entry level, for journeyman staff. Are there differentiations of different types of staff, maybe in different types of roles as well? Maybe there are certain roles that are more prone to having concerns of stress of this type. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, judges. Last but not least, Cyberfinder. The stage is yours. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Next. Today, IT teams face a big challenge, choosing the right cybersecurity training vendors. There are over 200 options out there, but no single place to compare them in a clear and a consistent way. No users' reviews, no performance data tailored to their industry, size, or budget. The result? Organizations often make the wrong choice, and that can cost them 50 to 100K every year because of huge price and quality gaps between vendors. On top of that, the information they need is scattered in Reddit forums, for example, vendor brochures, personnel contacts, making the process slow, frustrating, and unreliable. This leads to wasted time, disengagement of staff, and higher security risks. Next. That's why we built CyberFind, the first platform where IT teams can search, compare, and choose cybersecurity training vendors based on real data. We bring together vendor offers, users' feedback, AI analysis, and community insights so buyers can make confident and data-driven decisions. Next. The platform is live. We already listed 63 vendors, and we are onboarding 10 more this quarter. Right now, our focus is on securing pilot agreements with key vendors to prove the model generate early revenues and build strong relationships that can help us scale quickly. Next. The market size of training is growing fast because organizations are facing rising compliance requirements and skills shortage. Next, our team brings more than 35 years of combined IT and cybersecurity experience leading major technology programs.
Thank you very much. Judges, your feedback, please.
Yeah, thank you. If I can go first, Stephen. So Mohammed, good job. I see some huge improvements. You're in a space, cybersecurity, that is, you have a lot of data on your pitch. Maybe paring that down a bit and it's hard to just pick one problem in cyber. I get that. But I didn't hear about what is your target market? Like who would actually use this? Is it banks, casinos, hospitals? Who would actually do this? Because there's a lot of options out there, and there's a lot of charlatans in the security business, and so how do you differentiate and have your customer feel more secure, than using yours? And in the presentation, there's a lot of information for us to consume, so making it easier for us to grab onto the problem you're solving. Stephen, go ahead.
For your presentation, the presentation is much better, it flows better, and I think being close to this topic, I understand why the gap exists in how you're trying to address it. What I would also say is that you have different users, and you may want to focus on the user persona. Who are we training? Are we training specifically? We're educating clients to pick the right tools to make sure that their cybersecurity experts are well trained to use the tools. Are we training management of the cybersecurity resources to make sure that they plan and strategize accordingly with all the other business related organizations and the CTO office, or are we also training and modulating for leadership expectations on what cybersecurity can and cannot do, and how it intermingles with all the other existing parts? So I just it would be good to get some clarity on that. Maybe just focus on who the user persona is. And at some point, I know that you're onboarding many vendors. How is that? What is their experience, and what is their feedback of the tool so far? Has it, do they see the benefits? Do they understand? Are there other buyers or users of product that are looking at your profiles, how these profiles are being built in MVP stage, and are they understanding theoretically the value that it's bringing to the table, even if they haven't transacted an operation on the site? Do you have any data like this that you can share? Thank you. Great presentation.
Judges, for your feedback. We very much appreciate it. And thank you, teams. We see a great improvement on everybody's part. It will be very hard to select the top 10, at least for me. I know it will be very challenging. We will notify everybody on August 17th on who's in the top 10 and who's not, and then to pitch on the 26th. Steve and Ron, would you like to say closing words?
Having mentored some of you guys, as I say always, this is the first of many companies you're going to own and be part of. And going through this process is not easy, and the rigor behind it. So congratulations on getting in the game. This is the beginning. You're going to have more and more ideas, innovation. So it's just a privilege to walk beside you guys. So thank you.
Presentations, they've improved. It's great to see the level of refinement of the presentations and how you have all utilized the LISA program to improve and to really build upon the information that we have here. Hopefully this information that we've provided to you is of value, and it will continue to help you on your journey. Just keep in mind that things constantly change. We go from ideas, concepts to market, and as we move in that direction, the dollar value, the costs of development, the costs of creating the products, of building your futures, it becomes dollars, time, effort, investors, other parties that come into the equation and become part of your dreams. And the equation gets a little bit more complicated. So just keep in mind how you're shifting from your initial idea to now being in close to or in an MVP stage, and how much you guys have grown as entrepreneurs and where you are now. And as Ron says, you may do this once, you may do this 50 more times in your careers, in your lifetime. And it's really important to know that and look at each other now, because I started my entrepreneurial journey 25 years ago, and I still talk to the people that were entrepreneurs at that time, because we were all in the same boat. And I think that's really important. All the folks that you're working with here in prior cohorts of LISA, they're all part of a network, and that network can be very valuable to you if you utilize it. Thank you very much for your presentations. If anyone else needs any additional assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, for your involvement. You're super valuable to us, so thank you.
And so are you, Ron. We really appreciate you all. And thank you for jumping in spontaneously, Ron. Hats off. And have a great day, y'all. See you soon.
And I just want to make one more comment, Ron. You can use the aloe vera as hair gel also.
Yeah, I'm using it everywhere. Right. There's something about the magic aloe vera, it just works. So
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we will have to guess where.
Thanks, everyone.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hey, Harpreet, are you still on the line?
Hey, Glenn, are you still on the call?